unless you run. No words. No words. Describe. I should have said the poet. So beautiful. Beautiful. So beautiful. The people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the co-federation solar, sun, our starship, planet Earth, restored to heaven on our and every earth as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, present, retroactively, and now, rebalance, and future, always balancing, to lovingly, genealogically, and boldly become and be space-time travelers whenever and where we have interdimensional reality, all in part been before, if also never been before, in alternative spatial lines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum. Balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both in each, and each both in all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In a thunderous blast, she emerges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Caldera. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She's risen.
We are risen.
May the circle heal around the unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart. Very neat and very not, and very neat again. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be.
ॐ महालक्ष्मी मृडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्व महाशक्ति महारथी महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धि महासिद्धि महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्र महामंत्र महायंत्र महासना महायागत्रमाराध्या ॐ महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पक महाताण्डवसाक्षिणी महाकामेशमहिषी महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी चतुष्षष्टि उपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टि कलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटियोगिनी गणसेविता
will not. No. No words. Words. To describe. I should have said. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. The people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not our new millennial law.
Okay. I thought it was Patricia. Maybe play May Sunflower, the Western Tea Glasses. This is Anna Marie, singing critic, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Alltimate, Dakota, and I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial goals as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
Welcome to our Starry Hours broadcast, the second one today. We welcome you all. We love you all. We love you, even those who have slimed us. And there are a great number who have slimed us, some who know us very well, and some who know us very little. But the world's oldest prejudice, genderism, is well programmed into the minds and even hearts of many people. Shockingly so, but logically so, because they have been induced back into it by mass media and often by circumstances of their own lives, their relationships. In my family, I can see that it's very, very difficult for mothers of sons to let go of genderism. It's a little bit easier for mothers of daughters, but mothers of sons have a lot of trouble. However, right now in North America, even mothers of daughters are practicing genderism because they don't grasp the difference between tokenism and parity, because they've been programmed not to understand that. They've been programmed to think this way, that only one or two women can run for office and hold co-office with men, compared to the great mass of women that only a few women can do it. They've been programmed to think that way, not only by men, but by women who are themselves so caught in their own patriarchal programming that the word parity never comes out of their mouths on weeks and months and years on end. They never say 50-50. They never say parity. They say support women, but they don't have the complete goal. They're not able to say the actual goal because they're so programmed down that they can't say it. And very often, women who are so programmed try to hammer down women who are not programmed this way. They try to use relational aggression of all kinds to prevent another woman from rising because they themselves are having trouble becoming risen. It is a very sad thing to watch. It's very much like gang warfare in a ghetto, that women will gather to thrust down for example, in the ghetto, you read stories how gangsters will attack an honors student who is making good in their educational progress of an exceptional nature, that person will be targeted by a gang. Because people who have learned low self-esteem often run in packs. And low self-esteem is based in genderism because all people are born of mothers. And if they don't fully respect their mothers, they don't fully respect themselves. So, and this gets passed on generationally. And as I say, it has been given a veneer of normalcy, more than normalcy, of desirability by our media. I urge everyone to turn off television. Turn off television. It is toxic. It is patriarchal poison that is now coming out of your pores in North America and destroying your relationships with everyone you know. I have to tell you a funny anecdote. And sometimes when I go shopping, I talk with the cashiers about my work of New Millennial Golden Rule. And by the way, I always carry with me the consciousness currencies, and I always mark our money as it is on our website under the area on 5050now.wordpress.com. According to your infinite wealth, scroll down and you'll see that section. And I had an experience with a cashier that I was trying to compliment her and tell her that she should be the CEO, a young woman, a young black woman, in fact, that she should be the CEO of her corporation. Well, she didn't answer me. She became rather sullen when I said that to her. And then I said, "Do you watch TV?" And she said, "Yes, I watch a lot of TV." And I said, don't watch TV. Turn off TV. They're deliberately programming women to degrade themselves. And she became very angry with me. And she said, "I want to watch TV and don't talk to me." And I said to her, "I'm going to talk to you. This is a we protect freedom of speech here. We try to. Some of us do. And you need to be hearing this." She got very angry. She left her cashier station and went to get another person to handle my transaction. She used relational aggression. She made it clear that she would have nothing to do with me for discussing women's empowerment. A virulent form of low self-esteem, such that she could not perform her very simple task on my behalf. She couldn't do it. And I want you to know this happened with her 3 times, because I saw this cashier on 3 separate occasions. And when I began to talk with her about this matter, each time she ran away from her post and got someone else to serve me. It can be worse than that. In other countries, it's much worse than that. If a woman were to say this to a cashier, or let's say they said it to person in a religious establishment or a government establishment. In some places in this world, many places, a woman who would say, don't listen to misogynist propaganda, would be immediately arrested. And that could happen here, too. It is beginning to happen here, but I don't think we're going to get to that point here because Mother Nature is intervening. Mother Nature sees these kinds of interactions occurring around this country. Sexist and racist and classist behavior on the part of way too many people, and also within our families, gang bullying, especially of women against each other and of brother against brother. These are all manifestations of patriarchy that has become deeply internalized in people, and they are like programmed. They're programmed to interpersonal sin and crime. And they are engaging in that programming, especially with people that they should be loving often, and even with everyday people in their communities. This is something that I am standing up for all of you. I am your intercessory mother, your clan mother of the planet Earth. Whatever your heritage is, I'm standing up for you, ladies. And I'm standing up for your young people, female and male, age 37 and younger, as first co-secretary generals, co-saviors with you, ladies. Because you have within you a goddess. And your children have within them goddess and God, like abilities. What I call equinox true cues. You have the ability to master space-time and to have eternal life. The one thing that I do not allow my experiences with people who show genderism toward me to do is to stop me. Because if I stopped, or if anyone actually did stop me, this planet would be destroyed. I am your only hope right now. That's why I am Cosmic Christ. But if I remain your only hope for too long, you know what I'm doing. If I remain your only hope, and you show no ability to judge the unacceptability of genderism, if you accept that sin as normal, for too long, those of you who do are inviting karmic and personal disaster. And if it is frequent in your region will have environmental catastrophe. I cannot stop this. This is the judgment of the Mother, Father, Goddess, God now. I can try to catch up with the task of assisting those who will not learn this lesson, who repeatedly over a long time refuse to learn this lesson. I can try to exhort them, to offer them a better opportunity, to give them opportunity to make amends. But those who do not are now facing karmic judgment. I am praying for you that the judgment may not be fatal, that you may be allowed to continue in life while I continue to work on your behalf and free you of what is occurring in your heart, because you know the heart is really in your heart and mind, because you know your heart and mind are actually one. The heart aspect of the person is part of their brain. It does interact with their entire body. Your thoughts and your feelings interact all holistically. If your thoughts and feelings are to reject love because it requires the equality of women, and you reject the equality of women, the spiritual and intellectual and capable equality of women, then I know that now, as we approach Valentine's Day, which is a holiday that must be one of sisterhood, the love of women for one another with mutual respect and affection, sisterhood and brotherhood, the love of sisters and brothers, females and males in friendship and in family life, of brotherhood among brothers, the love of men for one another with respect and mutuality and without domination and without exploitation and extreme hierarchy that is rigid and harmful to either man, any man. And no matter what his racial heritage or his economic standing at the moment of absurdity. And true romance and marriage, which involves a lot more than just lust. It involves mutual respect of the yin and the yang in interaction, and the recognition and the allowance that women do have some yang, and the recognition and the allowance that men do have some yin, and that as we approach becoming risen, both genders are more balanced of yin and yang. I'm not saying that they're hermaphroditic or unisex, because I believe that there will always and should always be a subtle difference between female and male with regard to estrogen and testosterone tendencies. However, that difference should not be the overwhelming, defining difference with regard to decision-making. In decision-making, in order to have democracy, we have to have enough of the people who have a little bit more yin to counterbalance enough of the people who have a little bit more yang. Or the decision-making, as it has now for thousands of years, tips careeningly toward the yang. The only women who are allowed into it are a small number who are yang, and therefore the model for the society becomes so yang that there is no search for balance and justice and inclusion. And when that happens, and it is happening in North America, you see it on the television, my dears. The little ladies are the bimbo teleprompter readers. The men are reported on. What the men say is reported. You are seeing extreme genderism on television, and you are seeing tokenism among the women chosen for political life in North America. You're seeing two versions of women in politics: the enabling, adoring wife secondary, the consort wife,
Or you're seeing the female token that in her efforts to become what we call the regent, that she has to adopt a male dominance acceptance in order to be considered regent. Both of these patterns will kill this planet and are now destroying North America and much of the world that allows North America to think it can do this and have recognition in international bodies. No, it can't be done. The United States has broken the United Nations. The United Nations is a failure. It keeps putting off its goals of gender balance because it can't deal with the media in the United States. We all have to deal with the media in the United States now. Turn it off. And as far as the internet goes, don't buy anything that is inessential until the internet providers and corporations respect the need for equality of both genders in their boardrooms and in their relationship to all of their staff, which includes the provision of proper family leave. And most importantly, now shares the new millennial golden rule, which is the quick fix. So, I have faith that some, maybe most of you will figure this out, but I can see that some of the people who are closest to me have profound ambivalence toward me, such that they cannot help themselves from either completely ignoring me or actively provoking and degrading me. Now, I will react to provocation. I will return an insult in kind, but with kindness. I never mean to be mean or to completely reject any human being. I do not do that, because all human beings are creations of the Mother, Father, Goddess, God. I have some reparation to do with people in my family because I attributed greater fairness to them throughout their lives than they actually had, because they have been so extremely programmed by genderism, by patriarchy. I remain often in a state of shock that people who I had known as friendly and reasonably kind to me when I was a child have absolutely nothing to do with me as an adult, because I have broken the gender pattern. I am completely rejected by the Pharisees of my family, who are the Pharisees of patriarchy. This happened, of course, to Miriam of Magdala and Jesus of Nazareth. They were very rejected, both of them. People are more aware of the extent to which Jesus was rejected and crucified. But Miriam of Magdala, and to the extent that she would have also asserted that female is equal in Christ, which she may have been a little bit reluctant to do, Miriam of Nazareth, were rejected, ladies and gentlemen. They were rejected by the people of their time. Some people accepted it. Now, the sad part is that had our media not been controlled, everyone in the United States would accept balance of gender. The media is the great, true devil of the United States. And I mean true devil, because the mind programming that has been done has ensured the devolution and the destruction of the Mother Earth. As long as we continue to watch TV and pretend that that's okay, you are going downhill. And you're going downhill fast now. You're going like water circling a drain. It's going down very fast. If you don't get this by Valentine's Day or before, I'd say by 2/11. If you don't get this by 2/11, and particularly in China, by Chinese New Year, and I don't think there's any hope that they're going to get it in China by Chinese New Year, so I am almost sure that there's going to be a major disaster in China around Chinese New Year. Because in China, the highest rate of suicide is among women now, young women. Because it has remained a patriarchal culture with tokenism among the female in the governments. And that is a killer for both genders. And it is a killer for the land. The same thing is really occurring in the United States. So, and it's ironic because the Beijing platform for women, had it been heeded, would have liberated both cultures by the year 2000. But since it wasn't by either culture, they're both headed toward disaster now, real disaster. I'm going to be here amongst the ruins. I'm prepared to stand and continue to broadcast the truth amongst the ruins. Because maybe by my doing this, the ruination will not be as great. I want those who sin against me to know that I love them, but I do not love their behavior. I do love their soul, and I do love their family importance to the family community, but I do not love their behavior and their absence of connection with me in a normal way. Those who have known what I have to offer and continue to avoid it, I cannot help them now. God is going to afflict them. They are going to be afflicted. I say I don't have enough time between now and February 11th to prevent that. They are going to be afflicted. Maybe God will figure out a way to give them a reprieve between February 11th and what we call President's Day, but I now call Co-Secretary General's Day, February 22nd. That they can rethink what they've done, and they will have an epiphany. And between the 11th and the 22nd, they will show a little bit of remorse for the extremity of their unwillingness to have a normal conversation with me. I love you all. I am praying for you all. It is a tragedy to think that some of the people that I love most in my life and should have been the greatest supporters and friends in my life have turned out to be just the opposite. It is the low self-esteem of women whose mother relationships were disturbed in a patriarchal culture. And they sense I represent the mother. They therefore react very negatively to me. But I have to represent the mother. Somebody has to. This is her planet. This is her planet, and she has every right to express anger with forgiveness, but anger at those who would keep her dignity in a degraded condition at this time on this planet. It is unacceptable, and those who are doing it will be afflicted. So I suggest strongly to everyone listening to this, and particularly young people, that you be very clear that genderism is in some ways, well, it certainly is a sin equal to racism. It is certainly a sin equal to classism and exploitative domination behavior. That genderism is the most insidious of all sins because it is the most common. And you reject that in anyone who does that, female or male. You reject it. And genderism is often expressed by simply ignoring people. If you see that there's an intelligent woman who's repeatedly ignored around your family or community, and that's going on because look at it. Your city council likely has very deficient numbers of intelligent women there. Your legislature, wherever your local legislature is, your corporate boardroom, they're all doing it. So you reject it now. You have to reject it by turning off television and taking the 11 steps that are right beneath the New Millennial Golden Rule at 5050now.wordpress.com. And then you will be saved. I love you so much, and I will continue to broadcast tomorrow. So I'll just let you look at our beautiful graphics again. Whoops. Let's fix this. I'll just let you ponder our beautiful graphics again, and our graphics again, and take yourself there to 5050now.wordpress.com. I have put my family's pictures and names there, and I'm going to make sure that all of my family, even those who have slimed me, the women, all of the women, will have their name there. And among the youth, those who I love the most, even if they have slimed me, will be there. I will forgive that because I know the pressure of the youth, on the youth in my family. And it is not fair to hold younger people accountable when they are pummeled, and I mean pummeled, into the replication of the genderist pattern by the emotional behaviors of the adults around them. So the younger people will also get a pass from me. But the older men, I tell you, God will give them no pass. And the mothers who promote that in older men may not get a pass either. I love you. Talk to you soon. I'll show you the graphics and see you tomorrow. See you a little later. I guess it's today. So we'll check in then.